In this video, I'm going to give you guys an easy method to create hard loops. Whenever I would try to make a dark melody, sometimes I would end up making something that had a dark vibe to it, but it was a little too like melodic, until I started using this formula that'll make you have hard loops and dark sounding loops every single time. So let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to do is just create a melody real quick. I'm going to just start off with Flex. It has a lot of good just flat piano sounds. So if you go to just the essential pianos, I like the light version, so I'll try using this Steinway a lot. Pitch this up, do one more, and then we'll just cut off that end right there. I want to loop this. All right, so we'll just loop this right here. All right, we'll add just a couple lower notes. I'm gonna keep it just repetitive. Then we'll add just one more bass line. I think we'll keep it real simple like this. Alright, I want to go with a little bit of a darker feel for this one too. So keeping a repetitive pattern will also have that real dark feel to it. Alright, so with that, I'm gonna switch this out now. Let's try Kepler XO. It's a free plugin. See what they have. This one's nasty. Yeah, that's tough. Alright, so I was gonna show you the next step for this one, but honestly this loop already sounds pretty tough like this. So I'm gonna keep this one and then we're gonna layer it with another sound and then I'll show you what you can do to it. Alright, so let's open up Citrus. I'm gonna copy over that same pattern. Let's see what kind of bells they have. Yeah, I like this sound right here. This is a good one. So the layer itself sounds pretty good, but I'm gonna rebuild the pattern. Let's pitch this one up first. I'm gonna mute that first one so we can focus on this. So we'll delete this section. Take off the lower note. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Gotta turn this second one down a bit. It's way too loud. Alright, so that's pretty solid right there. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to export this one out. And this is a good one because I like how it sounds already like that, but we can do a lot more to it. So we're going to open up the sample. So just double click on it. And then on the audio clip, you're going to right click and then open on Fruity Slicer. And the first thing you want to do is go to this razor icon and then we're going to click on beat. And that pretty much just chops it up evenly. Also make sure you're back on the pattern because it takes you back over here. And then let's solo this one out. And then what I also like to do is kind of just slow down the attack a bit. Kind of gives a little more of like a sampled effect to it. Alright, and then now with this pattern right here, we're going to grab all this and delete it. And here's where you can rebuild that sample and create it into something completely different. Let's hear how this sounds. Let's switch up this first one again. I think I like this better. Kind of follows this second one a little more. So if you hear that. kind of follows it a little more. All right, and then we're going to take that and then throw it on a mixer again. Export it out one more time. Let's go back to the playlist. All right, so this is the original we had. So you see how that end is a little more melodic, which you can create by accident, which I used to do a lot back then. I used to just create a pattern. I would try to make a dark pattern, and then I would end up having like some type of melodic part in it by accident. And then with this recreated chop sample, you get something completely different that'll just give you a whole nother idea that you wouldn't think of initially. So you see it's a little more fast-paced, and it just keeps a kind of just darker feel overall to it. So now with the original one, yeah, you see how that keeps a lot darker of a feel. I gotta mix it still, but you can see how it has a darker feel to it rather than the original that I created. Like this is somewhat dark, but you see the ending right here? See that ending, how it's like doing. You might create melodies like that unintentionally. So when you chop a sample up and just recreate it like this, you're just more likely to have a just a harder sounding loop overall. And one thing I forgot to mention about that chopped sample that I made is if you look on the pattern right here, I created 2 different sections. So I like to do this just to add a little more variation between that sample, because if you create the whole pattern like this, it might just be too repetitive and there's not enough going on. So if you just create 2 sections to it, it'll add just a little variation in it. And it's also important to try to make sure they blend together. So you saw how I originally made that first pattern on this first 4 bar, and I wasn't liking how it was matching with this second 4 bar right here. So I went back and recreated that first section, and just it's important to just make sure that they blend together. You don't want it to contrast too much. You still want it to sound like the same sample. All right, and then so I just went back and just added a quick little EQ to both of them. So I cut off a little bit of that high end on this one, just so it's not clashing too much with the other sound, and it's filling up a lot more of that low end. And then on the counter, on this one, you see it's filling up a lot more of this high end over here. Chopped off some of the mids so it's not clashing, and that way they blend well together. And one last tip you can also do to kind of switch up the melody is you can grab the exported sample and just go right here to this pitch knob and bring it down maybe 2 or 3 semitones. That'll give you a darker feeling to the loop and just kind of give you a different sound with the same sample. Alright, so let me know in the comments below if you found this video helpful, and if you want to see a method I use to save time in the studio, make sure to watch this video next, and I'll see you there. Peace.